your nationality. I mean, Africans in general just try to act like they are the island. And to be honest, when it comes to academics, no one is an island of knowledge. Literally, no one. So it was a bit challenging for me because you have people in your class that are your color, are your skin type, and yet no one is willing to help you. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube. If this is your first time, welcome. Thank you for stopping by, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Thank you for being part of the family. And today, what am I talking about? As you can see at the description bar, I'm going to be talking about my first year experience, a breakdown of my first year as a master's degree student here in Russia. I'm going to be talking about the good, the bad, the ugly. Was there any ugly situation? We'll find out in the video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the challenges I faced while studying here, the good part, what I liked and what I didn't like studying here, and the other known, and yeah, basically. So stay tuned and please watch to the end of the video. Right, watch to the end of the video. Watch to the end of the video. Right. So let's get started. So I resumed in Moscow. So my classes started. Let's start from when I got my admission. So I got my admission, right, and school resumed September, and I wasn't able to get my invitation letter in time to come to Russia physically for my classes, and I had to like study online. So that was even where the challenges started from. I mean, studying in Nigeria where there's no lights, where there was not much access to internet and all of that. So I spent a lot while I was studying back in Nigeria because I had to subscribe literally every one week till I moved to Russia in November. Right. So that was where like my challenges started from. And then coming to Russia in November, I resumed second week in November, right? I came to Russia on the 10th of November. That was a weekend, and I resumed the classes like on Monday. It was during winter, so it was very cold, but you have to go to school, you have to go to class because your attendance here carries weight. So I had to go to class. I didn't have a choice, and it was pretty much it. That was pretty much it. But what were the things I didn't like studying here? The first thing I didn't like studying here was the fact that people of your nationality, I mean Africans in general, just try to act like they are the island. And to be honest, when it comes to academics, no one is an island of knowledge. Literally no one. So it was a bit challenging for me because you have people in your class that are your color, are your skin type, and yet no one is willing to help you. I mean, I had someone help me with my academics. I had Blessing, literally. I mean, I've mentioned Blessing in one of my other video, but yeah, I'll probably just bring Blessing to this channel one day to talk about like schooling here in Russia. So I had Blessing help me. I had Blessing put me through a lot of things. I also had like my Russian classmate like Elena Linchenko help me with a lot of things to settle in, and yeah, that was it. So I didn't like the fact that Africans and blacks acted like they were the island. It wasn't sitting well with me. So that was one thing I didn't like. The other thing I didn't like was the fact it's a school thing, right? It's a school thing. For instance, if you're on full scholarship, you get to stay in the school dormitory. If you're on part scholarship, as a contract student, you get to stay in student housing center. It wasn't sitting well with me because I feel like people that are probably on scholarship should have probably stayed in school housing center, while those of us paying tuition fees should stay in the dormitory, or perhaps put everybody in the dormitory together. So that also wasn't sitting well with me and made me spend a lot of money in my first year because people in the dormitory were paying 8,500 per month. Those of us staying in the student housing center were paying about 10,000, 13,000 rubles a month. That was a lot of money. So that also didn't sit well with me. The third thing I didn't like about studying here was the fact that lecturers just tried to act like, oh, they are God. Some lecturers would tell, like there's a particular lecturer I had in my first year that literally was not smiling. Like, it wasn't smiling. It just made the course tiring, and I just lost interest my second semester. So that's another thing. Some lecturers act like, oh, they are racist. Let me use the word racist. Some lecturers just don't vibe with black people. At a point, I even had to call out one of my lecturers. I had to report to a senior professor in the department. I'm like, I don't want to work with this professor because I feel like he's racist. Like, oh, he's not racist, he's just being professional. I'm like, go check the record of the blacks in the class if they are not the ones getting low grades. So I had to call him out, and then that had to be sorted out. So that's another thing I didn't like, because some lecturers can be racist, right? Another thing I didn't like about studying here was there was a time I was sick and I needed to call the clinic, I needed to call the hospital, and they didn't like respond. They said, oh, we don't speak English, so we're not going to respond to you, and all of that. So that's another thing. Language is actually a barrier. Language is also something that didn't make me like studying here in my first year. So down to what I liked studying here as an international student. Number one, I like the fact that you get to leave your country, you get to experience your country, you get to experience a new culture, you get to experience a new environment. It was an interesting thing for me because, I mean, it's not the first time I'm leaving Nigeria, it's not the first time I'm studying outside of Nigeria, but then this was a thing for me. It was more interesting for me. I mean, it was just it literally. So that's one of the things I liked, experiencing new culture, experiencing new people and new environment. Another thing I liked about studying here was building new community of friends. Building a new network of friends was something that was interesting to me. Now I can say that, oh, I have Russian friends, I have Iranian friends. I mean, my roommate is an Iranian, and it's pretty much interesting. Had I known, I wish I didn't leave Nigeria, or probably I wish I didn't quit my job in Nigeria, and I'd probably just continued like remotely before leaving Nigeria. And even after getting here, I wish I never resigned, I wish I never left. I also wish that I was able to build a community of friends as early as possible. I wish I made the right friends. There's this thing you need to know as an international student when you leave your country. Build the right circle of friends. It's very important. It's going to help you grow. It's going to help you succeed here in Russia or in any country you find yourself. Do not look for your people. Look for the locals to network with. It's going to help you a lot. It's going to help you a lot. And yes, that's that. The also other unknown is the fact that, I mean, so what have I learned in my first year? My first year, I learned that I need to be free. I need to be more free. I need to give people a chance in my life, literally. I also learned to be financially responsible. I've also learned to be very calculative. Right, I'm very calculative right now. I'm just grateful for strength. I'm grateful for community of friends. I'm grateful for my church here in Russia. I'm grateful for CCI UK and CCI Ibadan. It's been very challenging, but having this community has helped me grow stronger. And yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. So that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I know this is short. I know this is just a sit talk video, and it's just something to just tell you that first year it was rough, and it's going to get better, but then there are going to be a lot of challenges on the way, right? There are going to be more challenges, but it's going to get better because you know how to handle them based on your previous experience. And this video is just to tell people that are coming to study in Russia that do not expect too much from your first year. You always get it right along the line, right? You always get it right along the line. Just be determined and be conscious of yourself. Be prayerful in everything you do. Always put God first. Always put God first, right? And I'm also grateful for my friends back home in Nigeria. They've been very supportive emotionally, prayer, spiritually, and all of that. So it was a good first year, and I'm looking forward to my second year. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your post notification bell so that you can get an alert whenever I post a new video. And with this, I say bye and peace out.